Harris joins us live from Georgia with more on her town hall with former President Trump. Harris, this was wide-ranging. These were fascinating questions. They came from a woman's perspective, which I think is so important and so very much missing in much of this election. And I want to start with a very powerful moment from a Georgia mother whose son is a Georgia Bulldog, who spoke for every mom in America when she asked this.
My son is a Georgia Bulldog. He was on campus the day Laken Riley was murdered. You know, terrifying for all those kids, right? I wanted to know, like, how quickly in a sanctuary city, like they're calling Athens, Georgia, how quickly can you remove those threats to our society so that our children can go out on a run, as they rightfully should be able to do, in a park in the daytime by themselves?
First of all, we are going to end all sanctuary cities immediately. We're going to end them. Because they're really...
Is that an executive order you do that with?
They're really... I can do it with an executive order. I'll have to do it with an executive order. You can do it with the Aliens Act of 1798. We can do things in terms of moving people out. We can move them out of the sanctuary cities. Sanctuary cities are really meant for one thing, to protect criminals. That's what they become. We're going to end all sanctuary cities in the United States, and we're going to go back to normalcy.
Harris, the way she framed that, every woman should be able to go for a run in America.
Yeah. Look, her question does speak to a couple of issues that affect everybody. And we heard her, talking specifically about the state of Georgia, where, by the way, they broke records with early voting as it started a few hours before we sat down for that town hall yesterday. Above 300,000 people voting in this state, early voting in one single day. So she's hitting the nail on the head for what a lot of people in the state are talking about, but women all over the country, they want to feel, we want to feel safe, we want to feel secure, we want to know that decisions are being made on high by the elected officials that we put there and keep there with our votes, that they are keeping our best interest at heart. It was fabulous to hear from these women, because you'll hear us talk about, Kayleigh, well, a woman might ask this or that. We don't have to do that anymore. I think this changes the game on whether or not at the table, women absolutely have to be at the table when we talk about things like safety and abortion. And former President Trump said, I'm so glad you asked your questions about abortion. A woman does have the right for her body. And then this is why I gave that right back to the states, he said. So it was fascinating to see what having women at the table really does for the conversation, and how important it is for voters all across America. We are the largest registered active voting group in the country, women. And the battle for our vote with both these candidates is in closing argument stages for the next 20 days.
You know, Harris, and you asked President Trump about the #1 issue to American voters. Most of you know that is inflation. And I was very intrigued by his answer. Let's listen to it. He said the damage has already been done.
So what happens to the economy such that people can afford bacon that's gone up 28% in cost? Like, what do we do?
So I feel so badly about what's happened, because none of this would have happened. Just to start, it's so sad to say we have to get prices down, because the damage is done. You know, when they say, well, we're stopping inflation because it went down now to 4.5%. Well, 4.5% is very high. It's very high.
So how do you...
And we've got to do... Well, I'll tell you, everything starts with interest rates, if you get interest down, but it all starts with energy. We have more energy than anybody. We don't use it.
We have to, like, reset.
No,
I don't know how you reset to prices that are 4
You can
times
get the
what you
prices
had.
down.
So let me ask you,
by the way, energy brings everything down.
I mean, Harris, the way he explained that, it starts with energy, and everything is kind of an extension from that. It's absolutely the case.
You know what I loved about this? We had the space and the time to drill down. He took every re-ask, and I said, I want to know how it works. Is it distribution? He said, yeah, even when you make donuts, energy is involved. You need a stove for that. So it affects everything when you touch the component of what we were spending so much money on, which we could cut the costs on if we would have energy independence. I mean, just to hear that level of detail. And you and I both know that when you sit together, because we do, you and Emily and I and our guests every day on Outnumbered, we sit in that arc together and we spend time as women with big questions on that couch. I feel so blessed and privileged to do that with you and Emily every day. And it brings about the kind of conversation that's important. You know, it's not talking points. We look each other in the eye with accountability and with great curiosity and hopefully come up with solutions. I think that the president showing up for this at this time, 20 days out, is really important. And I'm seeing all the coverage that others are giving it. The pre-buttal by Senators Warnock and Ossoff in this, that they took the time out of their busy days as senators to take a target at a town hall, tells you that we hit the nail on the head by talking with women.
Yeah, the pre-buttal makes you know they're nervous. I saw that. That was interesting. You know, Harris, I was so thrilled that a question was raised that I hear all the time from mothers around the country. In fact, I saw a headline before coming to air. There was a list of states where childcare is double the cost of rent. That is a stunning thing to think about. This was that moment in your town hall.
I'm a single mom to 2 kids here. And just in 3.5 years, my child tax credit has decreased by 80%. Last year, I had broken my neck and I tried applying for any kind of assistance and was denied because I did not make less than $700 a month. What kind of realistic changes that do you think you can provide single parents, married parents, any kind of parent to just simply afford children in today's world with the way things are?
I gave you the largest tax cuts in the history of our country, okay? Larger than the Reagan cuts, larger. I understand exactly what you're saying. We're going to readjust things so that it's fair to everybody, because it's really not fair to everybody. But we have a lot, and we're going up higher, but we're also going to readjust because you have to make some readjustments. It's unfair to some people, and we're not going to have that.
She was emotional, Harris.
Yeah, I mean, we felt it in the room. The former president was making eye contact with her as she was talking. I mean, it's hard not to feel that because we know that when we can't think about what's next for our children, when we can't dream for them and with them, it changes the arc of our potential. And having that conversation and knowing that this person, this candidate for the White House, has that in his sights. Now it's time to hear what the opposing, outside of all of the jabs and everything, can we drill down and find out what the opposing candidate has to say from the perspective of the women in the room, from the perspective of Americans who know we are special. People want to come here because we do dream big and we can reach our dreams together. But we're in like a place where we need some help and some better leadership right now, some guidance. And so he's talking, he's going into the fold. And by the way, he knows he's got some issues with numbers of women and that Kamala Harris is inched up by about 3%. We talked about that last night, too. That was part of my lead up. So he knows that. But 3 points get awfully small when you're willing to lean in like this. 20 days will be very different for him and her. He doesn't have to reintroduce himself. She's working still on that element with the American people. I do want to say this. We did reach out. The Fox News team has reached out. We offered her the same opportunity. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, we will. And we will hear from her, of course, tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time with Brett Baer. I also wanted to play this moment, Harris. You asked the room of women, how many of you are concerned about biological men and women's sports? Every single hand went up.
It.
I saw that. Let's play it so viewers see it.
On addressing the transgender issue in women's sports, I have 9 grandchildren, 6 of them female, all playing sports, and we are very concerned for their safety, not just on the field and the courts, but in their locker rooms as well.
Right. It's such an easy question, and everybody in the room, and you know that answer, we're not going to let it happen. We stop it. We stop it. We absolutely stop it. You can't have it. It's a man playing in the game. I mean, physically, from a muscular standpoint, even if it was a little bit less, maybe they do all sorts of tests and drugs and everything else.
How do you stop it? Do you go to the sports leagues? Do you go to the Olympic
You just ban it. The president bans it. You just don't let it happen.
Kind of common sense, he framed it as.
Yeah, and we talked about in some issues like this, when do you do something by executive order? Look, you know, eventually you're going to have to, Kaylee, you and I both know this, do something in a congressional effort, you know, and level, because presidents go back and forth in different things. And look at the mess of the border right now, because they flipped 94 policies of Donald Trump the minute that Biden and Kamala Harris got into office. So you are going to have to do something with more longevity. But for him on this particular issue, it has popped now onto the spectrum because young girls and women are getting hurt. And it's happening with more regularity now as the sport decides that it wants to let, people who identify as women but are biological men into the sport. And we're different biologically. So he's really looking at this issue. And I know he would want to do something at an executive issue, but at the same time, to make things stick. And so he's going to need down ballot some support with Republicans taking over. And I want you just real quickly, if you'll give me a moment, pay attention to that senatorial race in Pennsylvania between McCormick and incumbent Senator Bob Casey. Don't sleep on that, because if Republicans can get even a 1 or 2 seat, they might not get a mandate, but they'll get a majority in the Senate. If they do that, it tends to track with his popularity as well. Could he take the state of Pennsylvania? Just watch it.
Yeah, that one in Wisconsin, where we're seeing the numbers trend towards Trump, trend towards Republicans there in the Senate, too. Huge races to watch. We've talked about domestic policy, but we can't leave without playing these moments on foreign policy, Harris, because it's very clear there were no new wars under President Trump. There are ample new wars under Biden, and President Trump made the case October 7th that some of the maladies we've seen on the globe would not have happened under his leadership. Let's watch that moment.
I'm a wife and a mom, but I'm also a fourth-generation Army veteran.
Good.
So my question for you today is this. How do we restore peace in the world through American strength while also putting America first here at home?
Right.
I'm concerned that we're still stationed and deployed in Germany, Korea, Japan, NATO, all over the Middle East defending other countries, but we've never been weaker globally or here at home. So how do we get back to a position of strength without having to be the world's police force?
I have the answer. I love you. Write my foreign policy, please, because what you just
hire me
I
from
was
there.
bringing troops back home. I got out of Syria. I defeated ISIS because it was the only way. I started no new wars, as you know. For 79 years, this had not happened. No new wars. I finished off ISIS. It was supposed to take 5 years.
Defeated ISIS, one of many accomplishments.
Yeah. Look, the choices are very stark here between a man who has been president and had no wars. Russia had not had a time under a recent president in this open era where they didn't move in on a neighbor, except for when he was on watch as commander-in-chief. So those are just facts. And you look at that resume up against Kamala Harris now, current VP, who has an opportunity to have a resume on these issues, since she always says she's the last person in the room when Joe Biden is making the big decisions, foreign, domestic, whatever they are. She's always there. She's got the acumen to do it. But does she have the ability to do it is the question. You can check some boxes, but have you done it? Can you do it? And so that's a stark difference. I mean, you've been in the White House. You were there with him. You know what I'm talking about. It's real-time experience is great. We're going to need that now. There are 2 wars going on under this current administration.
And high stakes. Fantastic questions,
Very.
Harris. Fascinating answers. Everyone go back and watch it if you haven't seen it so far. Fantastic.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Yes.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.